In today's brief video, I want to talk about one of the hardest things when it comes to quitting weed. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name's Dr. Frank. I'm the founder of AddictionMindset Recovery Coaching. I was once addicted to nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content, and now I have a company and a YouTube channel that helps people quit those things. The hardest thing about quitting weed is building momentum. And this could really go for quitting any addiction, but specifically for weed. One of the things that I tell people in our coaching programs, and one of the challenges that was posed to me early on in my sobriety process, was try and do 1% better tomorrow than you did today. Now, for me, this was not a very challenging task. If I'm chewing tobacco, hitting my vape, smoking weed every night, and watching adult media content, if I just even cut back on or cut out one of those things, I would certainly be doing 1% better than the day I did before. And I want you guys to think about this. Say you do 1% better every day for the next 5 days. Well, 5 days to now, you're going to be doing 5% better than when you were watching this video. Let's say you do that for 50 days. You're going to be doing 50% better than the time of you watching this video. And as you could imagine, if you get to 100 days and you strive to do 1% better than the day you did before, at 100 days, you are going to be in 100% better spot, I can guarantee that, than you are from the day you watched this video. Now, it might not sound like something too instrumental, but it really is, because doing 1% better actually helps you to start to build momentum. And I'm referring to momentum in your recovery, in your sobriety, in your journey on quitting weed. And momentum is super, super important, because momentum is what's going to keep you propelling forward. It's what's going to keep you from relapsing and going backwards. Now, I want to be clear. Building momentum is very, very challenging, and I want to use an analogy with you guys. Think about a rocket ship, and you can think of yourself as the rocket, okay? Whenever they're going to do a space launch, think of all the fuel that's used up during that initial launching phase of that rocket, okay? They use up a ton of fuel just to get that thing off of the ground. They use up a majority of the fuel just to build that initial momentum. And at the same time, this is also the scariest part of any space launch. That initial launch off, that initial blast off. This is where so much seems like it could and might go wrong. I see addiction recovery as no different. I see quitting weed as no different. It's scary when you first quit. There's a lot of fear involved. There's a lot of work involved in that early recovery and early sobriety process. And it's not easy. I'm not going to sit back and say, oh, it's a walk in the park, just quit. Because for a lot of people, it's a struggle. But anything worthwhile in life, anything good in life, I have personally experienced this, is challenging at first. And you know when it starts to get easier? It starts to get easier as you start to build more and more and more and more momentum. It's I have a quote for you guys here. It's hard to start momentum, but once you got it, you then be the one who starts to steer it in the right direction. Now, there are two more parts to this. Once you have momentum, you have to maintain it. And how do you maintain momentum? And really, how do you avoid relapse is what we're talking about. One, you want to be ready for the bad days. Be ready for the challenges. Because if you expect challenges, if you expect times during this quitting process where you're going to feel depressed, where you're going to feel anxious, where you're going to feel physically not your best, if you expect challenges and you expect hard things to come and you develop a plan for when those things come, I promise you, you're not going to get thrown off. Your momentum is not going to be halted. It might be slowed down a little bit, and that's okay. but it won't be halted. So that would be my first tip for you. My second big tip to maintaining momentum would be celebrate the little wins. I was talking to a client just the other day in our coaching, in our one-on-one coaching program, which if you guys want to check out the pinned comment in the video description, you can do a session with me. And he was saying, Dr. Frank, I messed up. I went 7 days not smoking weed or drinking. And then on day number 7, I drank. And we're talking, and he said, by the end of the conversation, Dr. Frank, this is the first time in 6 years I've gone over a day without smoking weed. Wow, that's a lot of momentum, and that should be celebrated. That's not a relapse. He didn't go back to being in a worse position than he was before. That's a temporary lapse in a goal that he was trying to accomplish. I would not consider that a major setback or a major relapse at all. In fact, I would tell this person, and I did, wow, that's really good. And we should celebrate that. We should celebrate that win. I think a lot of times when it comes to addiction recovery, we have this bigger goal and we have all these things that we're working on, and we should. I encourage people to have that. I think that's important. But make sure to celebrate all the little wins along the way. Guys, on this channel, if I didn't celebrate my first 10 subscribers, I never would have had the momentum or the energy or the encouragement to try and get to what we're approaching now, 20,000 subscribers. You got to celebrate the little things. Did you get up today? Did you take a shower if that's not something you've been doing? Did you clean your room? Did you work out? Did you connect with someone today? Did you work harder at your job today? Did you just not get high today for a full 24 hours? Celebrate the little wins and be ready for the challenges that lie ahead, and you are going to maintain momentum. And I promise you guys, all you need when you're quitting weed is a little bit of momentum. So I want you to tell me in the comments below, what little wins can you celebrate from this last week? And what things can you do that are going to make you 1% better tomorrow than you were yesterday? Because this is how you build momentum. I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to follow you down in the comments. I'm going to be responding. I will see everyone there.